RuneScape is the reason why I'm close to my brother. In 2013, I was going into middle school and my brother was already in high school. There's a few years age difference, so we weren't that similar in many ways. You know, high school is a time when you figure out who you are and what you want to be. Going out, finding a new friend, going on dates, going to prom and stuff. It's very different from the years before. So I understand why we weren't that close and we didn't have that much in common at the time. And that age is just a time where you kind of separate yourself from your family so you can find out who you are and how to define yourself as a person, which I think is completely healthy. That being said, that meant he didn't hang out with me. The door was closed more often. We didn't talk as much. He was more silent during dinners and he just wanted to get back to whatever he was doing in his room. He'd come back from school and ask to use the family computer. And I remember he would be on there for hours, being late for our family dinner, getting in trouble like that. This is what he cared about. That's when I saw RuneScape. He was messaging his friends, talking about when they could get on, trying to call them. And he would just tell me, this is a single player game, you have to be online. You can't play on the same computer. But that didn't work. I was like 13 and I was a younger brother. So I kept annoying him. I was like, please, please, please. To the point where I told my mom and, I know him up. He hated it. But I got my mom to tell him to make me an account, and he did. This meant that he had to share the family computer with me, which obviously pissed him off. Either way, he made an account for me, and I was trying to stumble through Tutorial Island. I remember asking him for help on that. It was confusing. This was not like any other game I had played. So I just remember over and over again asking him like, "Hey, can you help me with this?" And he's like, "You just do what it literally tells you what to do." And I remember like, I don't know what the fuck it is to do. I was a little brother, so I just wanted attention. I realized this is how I could get attention from him. And so I would just ask him on every quest to help me. I kind of knew what to do, but honestly, this game with an undeveloped mind was so freaking confusing. So I just remember asking him for help on every single quest. It was kind of like a bat signal. He would be in his room, closed door, but if I asked him to help me with a quest on RuneScape, he would come out and, he'd be disgruntled, but he would still help me because it was something he was interested in. So I realized I could just ask him if I ever want to hang out to help me with RuneScape. And this is slowly how we started a bond. I think it's very important for a family and any relationship for that matter to have similar interests or something in common. Find a common ground that you can talk to this person or share something that you care about with them. And for me, this was this game. As he went to college and I started going to high school, he stopped playing this game and we stopped talking as much, which I think is fair. It's another transitionary period in real life. I didn't really want to talk to my family. I was going to high school. I was trying to find myself. He was going off to college. It wasn't until later in high school where I realized this game was the reason why that we got closer to each other during that short spurt of time. And I realized, I have to find something or he has to find something that we're both interested in to talk about. In general, two guys don't hang out with each other for no reason. There's usually something or an action or an event that they're doing together because inherently, if you're not doing anything, you have to be vulnerable. You have to talk about what you're feeling, what you're thinking about your future. And that's just not normal for guys, especially as teenagers at that age. It's inherently just vulnerable and like scary. You usually need something to do that you can talk about to grease that like social wheel. I mean, that just goes for family in general. When you're talking to like your brother, your dad, you have to find something that you relate with them. It's hard as guys to just outwardly speak how you feel. And as I got to college, I realized that to connect with your family or anyone in general, you have to find a common place. And even though our common experience, which at the time was RuneScape, deteriorated and we stopped playing it, I started to find new ways and new things to connect with him. I was studying computer science and I couldn't really talk to him about the specifics. He wasn't really into it. So I told him about cybersecurity and hacking. That was interesting to him. I showed him the Darknet Diary podcast and he listened to every single episode. So we had something to talk about. We talked about each episode, what we thought was good about it, what we thought was bad, just the storytelling. It was something that we shared together. It was an experience that we could talk about and relate with each other. The more I connected with him, the easier it was to talk to him about deeper stuff. How I was feeling, our family back home, mom, dad. And especially as I entered my adulthood, it allowed me to ask questions about our family that, I wasn't old enough to see. Talking to him gave me a broader, more defined picture of what was happening when I was growing up in our family. And it kind of allowed me to forgive and realize, my parents are just people. And it just allowed me to drop these preconceived notions that I had about my parents. And over the course of the past few years, it's allowed me just to fully connect with them. And I think in connecting with my brother and my other siblings, it really get closer with my family and be like less standoffish and learn more and appreciate the family I had. Even though RuneScape didn't directly make me connect with my family, it made me realize that having a mutual interest with someone that you care about is really important. You have to have a common interest to like connect with someone. And if you don't have a common interest, you have to meet them on their level. Find something that they're interested in and find different avenues or different details that you're interested in, and start asking questions and trying to understand why they like this thing, and it'll allow you to get a deeper understanding of who these people are. There's a reason why people like their interests, and if you love that person, you relate to them, there's a high chance that you will probably also like what they're interested in too. You're usually similar to them that way. I know it's very like basic, but like I urge everyone to try the things that your friends are interested in, whether that's card collecting, basketball, fishing, skateboarding. They'll appreciate it and you'll have a closer connection to them. And chances are you'll find something in that interest that you'll like. Even though you don't like card collecting, maybe it's the competition that's interesting or just watching it. I have a friend that plays Smash. I have no interest in competitive Smash, but goddamn, those tournaments are so interesting to me. The fact that people just get together and, play a game, but you'll find something that you like in it. And if not that, you'll have an understanding of why your friend likes it and you can have conversations about it. And that just means so much to people, that you show interest in something they like or you're just interested in why they like it. People love that. People love to be seen in that way. And especially the people you love, they want to include you on the things that they're interested in. And it's really important to, take that invitation to get closer with them and go ahead and try to deepen your relationship with them. I think it's so important, especially with your loved ones. Go out there, ask your friends, your siblings what they're interested in. Go play golf even though you don't like it and it's fucking hot and disgusting. You'll give you something to talk about and connect with later on. I just wanted to share another way RuneScape is important to me and how it's affected my life. Even though it wasn't the direct reason of why I reconnected with my brother, I think it was the first and one of the more important things that connected me with him. And it led me on to this journey of, strengthening that relationship with him. And I also wanted to say thank you on the last video. I didn't really expect that many people to resonate with what I was talking about. It was really surprising to see how many people related to my experience. And the comments you guys left were very heartfelt and meant a lot. So just wanted to say thank you. And yeah.